I'm Andy Gosling. I run the Canal Shop Company here in Kettering. We retail goods to narrowboat hirers, to narrowboat owners and gongoozlers. Now these goods include maps and guides, brass plaques, tea towels as you can see behind us, giftware, light chandlery such as mooring lines and mooring pins and chimneys, that kind of thing. If someone's going to take to the canals for the first time, I think there are three essential things that they need. First of all, they need a map or a guide or something like that. You undertake any journey and you need to know where you're going and what you're going to see along the way. So on a canal, you need to know where the locks are, you need to know where the tunnels are, you need to know where the services are, where to pick up water. You need to know, very important for some people, where the pubs are and where the shops are. So that's the first thing. The second thing is take appropriate clothing. If it's going to rain, take some waterproofs with you. If it's going to be cold, take some jumpers. But most importantly, take some stout footwear. Okay, the towpaths can be very uneven. The lock sides can be very, very slippery. So you do need very stout footwear. And finally, take with you no expectation whatsoever of a time scale. Things happen on canals. You might get stuck at a lock system longer than you planned. You might stay somewhere because you like it so much longer than you planned. Part of the system might fail. A lock gate might stick and you have to wait for the Canal and River Trust to come out and fix it. So don't have any expectation of getting somewhere in any particular time, other than making sure you get your boat back to the hirer when you're due to. There are many things that you do need when you're operating a boat. Some of them are, commodity items like the maps and the guides, and the quality you're going to get there. Some of them you need to be a little bit more careful about. Mooring lines, for instance. There are many very reputable retailers out there, and they will give you a line that's properly spliced and eyed, and it will work very well for you. You can spend a bit more money and get some quality and have a mooring line that does not actually fade in colour. There are other items such as windlasses where you can buy a cheap import from India, and they are cheap and cheerful. Or there are certainly a couple of UK manufacturers I know of who produce very, very good quality windlasses that will last you a lifetime. So canal boating and narrow boating is becoming more popular than ever, and it makes an ideal family holiday. You spend your entire life in the rat race at 1,000 miles an hour, and you hit the canals and you can't do anything more than 4 miles an hour. It gives you so much time to connect with nature and to get to know your kids again. You have to work as a team when you go through locks, and you can do that with your kids. Somebody needs to open the paddles and let the water in and out. Somebody needs to open the lock gates, and you can do that as a team. You can also connect with nature as well. Because if you think about it, you get up in the morning, your coffee in hand, you open the back doors, step out onto the stern deck, and all you hear is perhaps the cows in the distance. The ducks are starting to chatter to each other. There's mist coming up off the water, and it's such a beautiful and peaceful time of day. And it's a lovely way to wake up and spend that time with your kids. There's a lot of work going on in the canal system at the moment. The Canal and River Trust, CRT, have responsibility for maintaining over 2,000 miles of navigable canal in the UK. Now, the canal system itself is an ageing infrastructure. Much of it is over 200 years old, and it needs a lot of maintenance. Much of this is done in the winter months. They're called winter stoppages, when the canals are much quieter. However, there are a plethora of canal restoration trusts who are actively and continuously working towards reopening canals that were abandoned in the mid-20th century. The likes of the Grantham Canal Trust, they're reopening the canal from Grantham up to the River Trent in Nottingham, or the Cotswold Canal Trust, who are reopening the Stroud water from Lechlade over to Stroud, going through the Cotswolds. You also have the IWA, the Inland Waterways Association, which is who started it in 1946. So they have local working parties, and they maintain, local areas of canal, maintaining the vegetation, removing graffiti, litter picking, and making sure the canals are actually in a really nice condition. So yeah, there's lots going on in the canals at the moment.